Hello and welcome to tonight's game. We are live from Dixon Field on the sports complex of Queens University of Charlotte. I'm Hunter Banks, and joining me is my good friend Mitch Sanford. Got a good matchup tonight. Charlotte trying to stay in contention for the playoffs, and Orlando trying to get back to their dominating ways after two losses in recent games. Going to run through the starting lineups for you real quick. First for Orlando. In goal is Miguel Gallardo. In defense, Tyler Turner, Brad Russin, Rob Valentino, Luke Bowden. Midfield is Adama Mbingwe, Harrison Heath, Austin Deleuze, Darwin Saran. And the forwards are Kevin Molino and Corey Herzog. And now for the Eagles. In goal is Alec Can. In defense, Johnny Leathers, Richard Dixon, Bilal Duckett, J.J. Greer. The midfield is Ben Noonan, Fred Sacheri, Jorge Herrera. And the forwards are Wells Thompson, Zach Boggs, and Gideon Asante.
Yeah, it should be a good match this evening. Both teams coming off of wins last weekend. Charlotte will be possibly hoping that Orlando's looking ahead to a matchup of the first and second place sides in the USL Pro, as Orlando goes from here to play Richmond this Saturday. Charlotte will be off this weekend, so plenty to get after this evening for Charlotte. Put it all out there, see what you got against the top team in the league right now, and see if you can work your way a little closer to the final playoff position. Just within 2 points of the final spot after picking up 3 big points this past weekend. So some momentum for Charlotte. Got Zach Boggs jumping into the starting lineup up top, coming off a 2-goal performance over the weekend. Ben Noonan, great assist for one of Boggs' goals. He's in form. And the back line was able to hold their own. They'll have their hands full with Molina, the league's leading scorer this evening. So should be some offense on display here. See if the two teams can put on a good show for us on a midweek match.
One thing to note, regular Charlotte starter Juan Guzman is not in the starting lineup or on the bench tonight. He picked up a knock in the last game, knee injury. Replacing him is Fred Sacheri back in the starting lineup after playing the role of super sub last week.
It'll be interesting to see how Charlotte defends without Guzman sitting in front of that back four. He's been a big part of the midfield all season.
As Duckett misplays that and Leathers tracks it down. Turner, the 18-year-old, graduated from the IMG Academy. Herzog battling with Sacheri, and Sacheri manages to clear it out.
Yeah, next to Turner, though, you've got the captain, Rob Valentino, who's a USL veteran, experienced player. So if you're going to be a young guy trying to find your way in the league, it's a great guy to be playing next to. One of the most experienced professional defenders in the league. So Turner's in good hands there with Valentino next to him.
Noonan trying to feed it into Herrera. Looks like Noonan's going to be sitting in that holding midfield position as Duckett and Molino are battling. And Duckett manages to poke it out for a corner. And that just shows the danger of Orlando City able to turn on a dime.
Yeah, the transition there when Noonan lost that ball trying to play forward. Molino was right on the back line immediately. Duckett and Greer have to be head on the swivel, make sure they don't allow the ball in behind them quick.
Curled in. That's Richard Dixon heading it out. And now Zach Boggs trying to poke it up. Wells Thompson unable to handle it. And it's going to be a throw in for Orlando City. Turner takes it. Quickly finds Heath. Now all the way back to Gallardo. Turner trying to feed it up to Herzog or Molina, and Duckett heads it out. Going to be a throw in.
Ball boys and ball girls. Still got some early game jitters there. Shake out, getting the ball to the players, but we're back underway now.
Valentino, Heath, and Dixon heading that away, but Molino with it now. Fending off Nuno Mensacheri. And fell to the ground, but referee plays the advantage for the Eagles.
Molino, though, showing great strength to hold Siccheri off of that ball in the midfield. We know about his pace, we know about his ability on the ball to score goals, but showing some strength there with Siccheri leaning all over him. Probably unfortunate not to earn a dangerous free kick. Like to see him just hop up and keep playing, though. Professional. There's a bad giveaway from Seren.
And now Gideon Asante shot goes way high and wide.
Well read, cut out that pass. Good aggressive play to drive in at the center of the defense, but just couldn't find his balance. Could tell as he's approaching that ball, he didn't have the balance to keep that on frame.
Gallardo over to Valentino. Turner. Back to Gallardo.
You're only going to get so many chances, you feel like, against a side like Orlando. So when Asante picks that ball up, you got to find a way to hit the frame, got to find a way to be dangerous with the chances that you do get.
And you can't have sloppy giveaways like that, as Noonan sends that one out of bounds.
Value the ball, be smart with it, make Orlando go through all 11 players if they're going to get anything.
And now Boggs. Thompson now. Trying to find Herrera, but cut off by Seren. Molino now. He goes all the way back to Gallardo.
Orlando not taking any chances. You can tell other than the one that they gave away trying to play out across the field out of the back, but have played quite a few long balls as they sort things out here early in the game. See him go over the top, let Herzog and Molino run onto it while they figure out what Charlotte's doing. Try and stretch out that back four with some balls in behind, and then don't be surprised if as the game goes on, they move from those long balls and then start finding stuff in defeat that Molino and Herzog can get and hold up and allow Deleuze and Heath to come and play off them.
Molino trying to flick that to Herzog. And Duckett coming away with it. Now Leathers. Asante. Slips past Turner. Goes up to Siccheri. Deleuze coming over. And Herrera's shot blocked. Diving save by Miguel Gallardo.
Great stuff from the Eagles there. Good work by Asante to get up the sideline. Decent look for Boggs. It's going to be tough for Boggs playing against Valentino and Rusin, some big boys there in the center of the defense. But well read by Herrera to pick up the second ball, and then a brilliant strike, forcing a great save out of Gallardo.
There you can see Saran nodding that one back to Gallardo. Gallardo playing it straight away up to Molino. And Duckett coming over and clearing it out.
Great distribution from the Orlando keeper, though. Picked that ball up, off, like you said, off the header, back to him, and immediately picked out Molino. 60, 70 yards downfield.
Valentino. Herzog called offside.
Good start here for Charlotte through the first 8 minutes. They've been able to keep things in front of them. Not allow, for the most part, not allow Molino and Herzog to get in behind. And then they've been able to combine, be dangerous down the flanks. Created the best chance of the game for Herrera. Good win by Deleuze there.
That's going to be a foul.
Mbengwe there running into Dixon.
Free kick quickly taken. And Noonan goes back to Greer. Has to hurry up. Herzog providing the pressure, and then it's one away. And that's going to be a foul on Richard Dixon. Tripping foul on Adama Mbingwe.
The outside backs for Orlando have gone long just about every time they've been on the ball. Bowden and Turner have either gone all the way back or gone long. I don't know about that one. It was close, real close. Good pick out from Herrera to find Boggs, who had peeled off the shoulder of Valentino there. Caught him looking inside. Unfortunate there for Boggs, and really from that position, he's looking across the line of the defense. There's no reason to be offsides. Just be patient. He was in plenty of space.
Dixon overplaying that, letting Mbingwe get it. Greer intercepting it, though. Now Thompson back to Duckett, who clears it forward. And Sacheri coming
well
up with
done
it.
by Sacheri in the midfield there.
And it's over to Asante. He goes back to Sacheri. Noonan. Boggs. And Boggs' pass to Wells Thompson was off target. That's going to be an OC throw-in. Another foul called on the Charlotte back line. Asante stepping up, trying to win that one away. Saran manages to control it, sends it over to Turner. Now Herrera.
You can see Herrera playing through the middle now. Started out initially just a little wider right. Thompson, it looks like, is going to play further to the right, and Herrera through the middle underneath the Boggs. Typically we see Herrera playing that wide right position. So something a little different tonight. Herzog going down under the tackle from Greer. Slow to get up there. And the ref's going to compound it for Corey Herzog and say the ball came off of him, went up for a Charlotte throw-in.
Charlotte bench protesting, thinking.
The Orlando bench, yeah. Good work by Seren there, coming back to help out defending Boggs in the midfield.
Nice interception from Sacheri, but it's probably given away. And now Molino trying to feed it through to Herzog. But good positioning from J.J. Greer and Richard Dixon, keeping Herzog from getting to it.
Really have to be careful, though, letting Herzog pick that ball up 35 yards from goal and run at your back line. Only going to get away with that for so long.
Thompson with it now. Into Herrera. Goes over to Asante. Asante, Herrera. Herrera dancing around. Noonan now. Asante on the wing.
You could see what Herrera wanted to do when Asante drug that ball back inside. He was going to fake, let the defender come by him, cut it back and hit it, and it just got caught under his feet a little bit. And the second defender was able to close it down.
Johnny Leathers up to take the throw in. Headed out and cleared rather poorly by Molino. But he manages to come back and get it away from Noonan. And now Molino Herzog versus Greer and Dixon. And a bad pass from Molino.
Not so sure Molino wouldn't have been better off just running at J.J. Greer, making him defend him 1v1. But I'm not going to tell the leading scorer in the league what to do. So thought he could slip a ball through. Good cover from Richard Dixon.
Belmont Abbey men's soccer team in the house tonight. Taking in some professional action. Duckett allowing Herzog to win that away. And now Molino. Noonan defending. And curled in, headed out by Duckett.
Bengwe trying to take that volley off the top of the box, caught a couple deflections, and then in the end, pretty easy for Ken to pick up. It was a good ball from Harrison Heath, though, into the near post initially, but no Orlando City runner getting into that early space.
Thompson going over to Dixon, who gives it back to Thompson. Thompson to Sacheri. He tries to chip it over for Zach Boggs, but headed away. Now it's back to Greer. Herrera. Boggs. And his shot blocked by Miguel Gallardo.
He was onside, though. Great ball from Herrera. Boggs starting out on the weak side of his defender, coming in off his blind side. Able to pick that ball up off his chest. Turned well and got it on frame. Gallardo, another good save.
That's a pushing foul. Going to be a free kick. Quickly taken. And that's going to be off of Wells Thompson for a Orlando City throw-in.
A little miscommunication, but Johnny Leathers manages to recover.
A bad pass from Bilal Duckett. Now Molino. That's going to be a throw in for Orlando City.
That's one for me that Duckett doesn't need to take any risks. Don't take any chances. Put your foot through that. Let Boggs go battle for it up top. Don't give Orlando the ball back inside your own third of the field.
This isn't a team you want to try to be fancy against.
No, like I said, make them beat all 11 players if they're going to score a goal.
Johnny Leathers racing over to eliminate the immediate threat. Throw in, quickly taken into Heath. Molino. Heath back to Valentino, who goes all the way back to Gallardo. And again, back pass to Gallardo.
Charlotte very content with this, allowing the center backs and Gallardo to knock the ball around. This will be a concern, though.
Herzog shot, diving save.
J.J. Greer ended up on the ground there. Didn't see exactly how it happened, but that freed up Herzog, and what kind of looked like some simple passing in the back quickly turned into a good look for Corey Herzog.
Molino, Leathers defending, goes back to Heath, and he was trying to swing it in, but it's blocked by Noonan. Another throw in for Orlando City. Turner goes to Heath. He goes over to Rusin. Bingwe. Rusin looking for Herzog. That's going to be off of J.J. Greer for another Orlando City throw-in.
Molino's the guy who's got the goals, and he's the one who picks the ball up and does more on the dribble. But Herzog is a handful. He makes good runs. That's a good tackle there from Richard Dixon. But Herzog, he forces J.J. Greer on that last ball into a poor clearance that goes out and gives Orlando a deep throw-in. Good strength from Wells Thompson there.
That's headed out of play by Brad Rusin. Going to be a throw-in.
That's a great ball to pick out Herrera. Great first touch, and now you're out the other side. Well done.
Asante on the ball now. Turner defending. Trying to poke it through to Herrera, but cut off by Deleuze. Now Duckett and Molino battling. Duckett coming out on top and finding Ben Noonan. Herrera back to Sacheri.
When Asante cut inside on that last possession, after he laid it off to Herrera and it didn't connect, you could hear a teammate yelling at him, hit it. Want him to just go ahead and put his foot through it and put something on frame there. Was in a decent position.
Alec King goes over to gather that. He distributes to Bilal Duckett. He goes over to Wells Thompson.
That's a brilliant ball.
Thompson feeds it to Dixon, who's trying to poke it for Zach Boggs, but a miscommunication there. And finds Miguel Gallardo instead.
That was a Sean Francis ball from Bilal Duckett there. The Eagles' Jamaican left back. from last season who got picked up by the Chicago Fire.
Currently playing for San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, just a sweet left foot from that left back position. Could just skip the entire field as Duckett did there. Drop it in on the weak side.
Deleuze. All right, Molino now. And Greer with a nice sliding tackle finds Boggs. Thompson getting it in, looking for Asante. Just wide.
But they're going to say it did take a touch. Going to give a corner to, never mind, the linesman.
Linesman was saying corner. Referee overruled him. And now the referee sees that the linesman had ruled it a corner and
took the a second there in transition to sort things out. But the Eagles have been able to pick out Zach Boggs and Jorge Herrera just in front of the defense the last 5 minutes or so. Find them, which has drawn Rusin and Valentino up into the midfield a little bit. And Gideon Asante starting from the left wing, picked that out. And as Valentino stepped forward, ran into the space behind him, caught the 18-year-old Turner. Ball watching maybe just a little bit, was able to slip in between. Got into a really good spot.
Herrera curls this one in, and it's headed out, but to the feet of Wells Thompson. His shot is cleared out by Molino. Dixon gives it away. Now Mbingwe over to Molino. And cleared away by Sacheri.
Twice now, Herzog's felt like he did enough to earn a foul and hasn't gotten it.
Looks like Miguel Gallardo was thinking about taking that throw in himself, pulling a Manuel Neuer.
There's only one Manuel Neuer. I think being in front of his own bench, he was encouraged to not go that route.
Another hard tackle on Corey Herzog, this time by Ben Noonan. Herzog still down, and Jorge Herrera is down. Harrison Heath not happy that they called the foul on Jorge Herrera, but not the foul on Corey Herzog. Herrera feeding it in. Dixon, he crosses it. Zach Boggs was there trying to get a head on, unable to. And that's going to be out for another corner kick as Gallardo and Rusin unable to keep it in.
Yeah, not sure if that was Rusin or Bowden that misplayed that ball, but snuck through. Should have been dealt with by Orlando. See if Charlotte can take advantage of it.
Herrera curls this one in. Noonan was there but was unable to get to it. And now Cerrone over to Molino. Wells Thompson tracking back. And there's Richard Dixon with a very acrobatic clearance there to eliminate the counterattack. Allow his guys to get back set up.
Yeah, sometimes the most dangerous times to get scored on are after your own corner kick when you put a lot of numbers.
Herzog, Bingwe, Molino over to Turner. And Turner sending it in, looking for Herzog, but getting there first. He quickly distributes over to Jorge Herrera. Herrera can't hold off as Cerrone wins it away. Now Deleuze, Heath, and Molino.
Soren does a great job from that holding midfield position to go double down. If the first defender will stand somebody up, he comes in. He's done that several times so far. That time, Herrera did a great job holding up the throw. Good cut back, and then Soren's waiting right there to just take it off his foot.
Bingwe fouled by J.J. Greer. It was quickly taken by referee, telling him to bring it back. And now Heath goes over to Turner. Molino, Leathers defending. And Asante gets the interception. And that's off of Molino for a goal kick.
So as we approach 29 minutes played here in the first half, so far so good, you would think, for Charlotte, creating better chances, for the most part controlling the flow of play, frustrating Orlando a little bit, you feel, but you only get so much of that here, you feel like, against Orlando, and if you don't take your chances and turn them into goals, you wonder how many more you're going to get, how long that's going to last, that control of the play. So I think it's important that while Charlotte's having the upper hand, they need to capitalize on it, turn some of this good spells of possession into better quality chances on goal and put something away.
Wells Thompson trying to weave his way through, but it's deflected by Mbingwe, and it's a throw-in, which is quickly taken to Wells Thompson and promptly given away. Now Molino, he loses it away. Newnham goes back to Duckett. And Duckett sending it up to Gideon Asante. That's going to be a throw-in for Orlando City.
I'm not sure if we know whose throw it is. Looked like the linesman said it never went out, but then the center ref overruled him. Said that Asante did dribble out of bounds.
Molino over to Herzog. Heath into Seren, excuse me. Rusin goes back to Gallardo. Now Valentino. Heath. He's looking from Bingwe. Duckett heading that away. Now Seren. Deleuze throwing it over to Mbingwe. Back to Bowden. Molino. Bingwe curling it in. Looking for Herzog. But nice gather by Alec Can.
Yeah, so far it looks like Orlando's not overcommitting, keeping things pretty simple, playing with the understanding that they have a big game coming up on Saturday. You don't feel like they're laying everything out there at the moment, just enough to stay in things, and then at the last 15 minutes, hopefully still be in it, still be level and then go get your winner at the end.
And it's going to be a foul. Rough tackle by Ben Noonan on Harrison Heath.
Turner's tried to creep up the right sideline here from the outside back position, but we haven't seen Luke Bowden get forward much on the left side, and we haven't seen Heath or DeLuz really try and get all the way forward out of the midfield. Stayed behind the ball, made sure they had numbers in transition.
And now Asante winning that away and promptly lost it away to Seren.
Seren's having a nice night. Good player.
Sacheri goes back to Leathers, and he clears it forward. Valentino comes up. Turner twisting an ankle, looks like. Finds its way over to Luke Bowden. With DeLuz. Richard Dixon coming up with it, coming away with it. Now Sacheri.
Got to get the ball off his foot a little quicker there. Bit hesitant. Allowed the second defender to come in and make the play.
Herzog. Back to Heath. Herzog. And that's a foul on Bilal Duckett.
Looks like Seren or Heath will be taking this one. Seren's setting it up, standing over it. Looking like he wants to give it a go and test Alec Can.
Jorge Herrera lining up the wall for his keeper. And it's going to be Mbingwe as it ricochets off of Noonan and cleared away by Duckett. Valentino comes forward. Leathers wins the aerial battle. Now Boggs. Noonan, Leathers sending it sky high into the circle. That's off of Zach Boggs' face. He's taking a knee as Corey Herzog was in the box. Now he goes back to Mbingwe. Harrison Heath. Out Turner. Seren.
Last couple minutes, seen Orlando commit a few more numbers forward, be a little more patient, build with a little more purpose. DeLuz getting higher up the field. Mbingwe coming inside.
Good deflection there from J.J. Greer as Corey Herzog was making a run onto that ball. It's going to be a corner kick for Orlando City.
Now you've got Rusin and Valentino, probably the two tallest guys on the field, coming forward. So Greer and Noonan and Duckett going to have their hands full here.
Bad clearance there from Richard Dixon.
You could see the nerves on Dixon's face as soon as that ball came off his foot, hoping it was just going to go harmlessly over.
Another one in, this time cleared out by Noonan, and Seren's shot goes over the crossbar.
Dr. Michael Guerrero with Proactive Tire Practice is
Don't forget, for score, stats, news, and more, everything you could possibly want to know about USL Pro, it's all online at uslprosoccer.com. Go ahead and like the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro, and give the league a follow on Twitter. That's at USL Pro. And speaking of Twitter, Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Heath giving it away. Duckett over to Asante.
Not much in the way of numbers in the Charlotte attack there to help Asante out. Forced to go all the way back to the center back.
That finds its way to Bowden. Now Mbingwe. And Newnham tried to send it up.
That good possession that Charlotte had the first 25 minutes has kind of left them here the last 10 minutes. And it's been Orlando City on the ball more. Charlotte playing on the counter and not having a ton of success with it. Need to get through these last 6-7 minutes here and get to halftime as Herzog's call for the handball there. Find a way to balance the game out a little bit. See if you can find Herrera in the pocket just in front of the center backs, which is tough because Soren's done a good job in that space as well. But I feel like that's where Charlotte's going to have the most success. Can you find a way to get Herrera on the ball in the middle of the field? Let him be the quarterback, be the playmaker in there.
Wells Thompson took a hard hit. He's on the ground. Calling on the trainers, or the trainer, Katrina Courtright. Looks like it was an injury to his head.
Yeah, he and Mbengwe went up for that aerial challenge there, and Thompson doesn't back down from anybody. Went in full force and I think may have caught the back of Mbengwe's head as he tried to win it himself. Another nice night here in Charlotte. Pretty pleasant night, but still the players taking a chance as we're 40 minutes into the half to get a drink of water. Still reasonably warm and was pretty humid today, but nothing out of the ordinary for Charlotte, and certainly nothing that the guys from Orlando won't be used to. So weather shouldn't be an issue this evening as we move later on into the evening. Things cool off. Guys will be ready to go. Guessing by the length of the stoppage that got a cut there for Thompson that they're trying to clean up and stop up there. Hopefully nothing concussion related as Thompson sits up now, back to his feet. This will obviously add a couple minutes of stoppage time onto the end of the first half.
And Thompson's up and walking off. Getting some encouragement from Mbingwe.
I think that little stoppage there, although Charlotte's now going to be playing with 10 men, that stoppage is in Charlotte's favor just in terms of the momentum of the game. You'd seen Orlando start to pick up their confidence, increase their possession rate. Chance there for Charlotte to catch its breath, get reorganized, hopefully be able to put their foot on the ball, keep it a little bit themselves.
Valentino over to Rusin.
Got Drew Yates and Guy Brandel warming up there on the sideline in case Thompson's not able to go. Yates typically plays through the middle of the field, either as a center forward or an attacking midfielder. Brandel, a left winger. In the meantime, they've got Herrera, who's moved from that recessed forward playmaker role out wide where Thompson was. So Charlotte playing a bit of a 4-4-1 for the time being.
Now Bengwe.
They're going to get J.J. Greer inside or outside of the box.
Outside.
Piers is
just outside.
Just outside. But a dangerous free kick nonetheless.
Jorge Herrera talking to the ref, asking for an explanation.
Yeah, Greer came flying through. Was definitely aggressive in his challenge. I don't know how much contact there was. I think there was some contact, and Mbengue, knowing where he was on the field, knew it was an opportunity with Greer being a bit out of control to go ahead and let the ref know there was contact. Go down and see if you can get your team a dangerous free kick opportunity. Mbengue hit the last one with his left foot. Wouldn't be surprised to see Seren try and curl this right-footed.
Kevin Molino trotting over and taking a swig of Alec Can's water. And that's off of Herzog.
Ooh.
And then shot wide.
Austin Deleuze with the left-footed volley. Still not happy with the ref's positioning of the wall. Don't think he felt like they got 10 yards, or not sure exactly what he didn't like, but he and former college teammate Ben Noonan from Wake Forest University standing there talking to the ref a little bit, having a laugh.
All right, 2 minutes of stoppage time given.
Essentially all of that attributed to Thompson head injury.
He's still being attended to as Bilal Duckett heads that one out of danger. Seren curls this one in, but a save from Alec Can.
It looks like Charlotte will just keep Brandel and Yates on the sideline there, try and get through the remainder of the half, and then sort things out with Thompson's status at halftime, decide whether they need to make a sub or Thompson will be able to give it a go, get things cleaned up, get cleared to join us for the second half.
Heath over to Turner. Back to Heath. Arusin. Bowden. Looking for Herzog. Finds him. Herzog to Bowden to Mbengue. He slips past. Gets past. Nice diving save there from Alec Can.
Great cut back from Mbengue. Seemed like he would run himself into trouble into the end line. Just slammed on the brakes, cut it back underneath himself. Lined up a right-footed shot that Can did well to put out for a corner. if you're Mark Steffens and the Eagles coaching staff, you really, even though you're playing with 10 men, still the way the last 15 minutes have gone, can't be happy with it.
Molino tees it up. And Molino's rebound shot goes over the post.
Half-hearted appeals for a handball there. That ball is laced by Heath, I believe, straight at Richard Dixon, and may have come off his arm, but his arm was in front of his body. Not gonna, from close range, you're not gonna get that one. But yeah, if you're the Eagles coaches, you gotta feel like the way the last 15 minutes have gone is not gonna work for 45 minutes in the second half. Gonna have to find a way to clean things up a little bit, get a little more possession of the ball. So even though Charlotte probably had the better of the play the first 30 minutes, I feel like Orlando's carrying the most momentum, even though we're 0-0 into the half.
That's going to do it for us for the first half. We're going to take a quick 15-minute break, and we'll be back for the rest of the game. Stay with us.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.
Well, sports ministry is like the gospel in action. You're able to speak the gospel, but you're also able to be an example on the field and doing something that you love.
Soccer is the #1 sport in the world. You can go anywhere. All you need is a ball. It's the perfect tool, in my mind, to share the gospel.
So many people in so many different cultures play sports, and soccer is probably the biggest because it's all around the world.
I think my favorite thing is actually playing matches against other teams, and then afterwards getting to share with them.
Being able to show the love of God while you're playing, and more so afterwards when you're able to talk with people one-on-one or even to a crowd, explaining why you're doing what you're doing.
Have those intentions of, okay, I'm going to use this not for myself but to benefit others. God just takes that and just expands it and just blows it up bigger than you could ever imagine.
Training is a core part of what we do to accomplish our mission, a season of training to prepare players for a lifetime of service.
We try to do what we call sports ministry training, where we're training our men to take their faith and put it on the field. That's through transformation.
Going through the material, the sports ministry training material, of just kind of a theology of sports ministry and learning more deeper about how God wants us to be in the context of sport.
That's the standard of excellence we're going to have.
We all enjoy the game. I love to coach, I love to play. All these guys are driven, they're competitive, but investing in these guys on the spiritual side, that's what I get excited about, and that I get to do it within the environment of soccer.
It's a phenomenal place to grow. From the staff around you, to the opportunities you get, to the leadership you can provide for the team, the perfect place to be as an athlete.
I love being a part of, I guess, just a Christian organization that is so fired up about God and using soccer as their ministry.
There are a lot of guys that are really serious about growing spiritually, and I've been mentored by several so far already.
I was challenged to not only improve myself on the field, I was able to grow in certain things off the field as well. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without the organization altogether.
Being at camp with kids, I felt more alive than I've ever felt.
As we try to teach kids how to play soccer to get better, we also share Christ with them, which is our main purpose here.
This Camp of 200 is being led by two of our student leaders, and they're doing an excellent job giving them a practical experience in leadership.
Over in Japan, we do clinics for kids as well as playing different university teams. And even though there's a language barrier, playing soccer always helps break it down. And
I mean, especially when we go to Brazil, it's Portuguese as the language and then soccer. And immediately the kids just respond to us because we play soccer, we invest in their lives, and now they're open to hear about the gospel.
You go across the country and you pick up a ball, and within 10 minutes you have
50 to 100 kids surrounding you, and so just knowing that it can easily build relationships. And
how one sport, how one soccer ball and a smile can unite two teams who can't even communicate because we don't even understand each other. It's hard to describe, and being a part of it has been such a blessing.
I was really feeling that we were supposed to live alongside people, to move into neighborhoods, to move into cities that need Christ's light, and just let Christ's Spirit flow through us there.
Sports ministry, being a sports minister, brought us into the neighborhood. We were using soccer to build relationships with the kids through soccer practice and playing soccer out on the field.
My heart is to see this whole community transformed by God's love. And so it started with us rolling out a soccer ball 2 years ago and bringing a couple snacks. And so we'd play soccer for an hour, hour and a half.
We are to have deep relationships with the families here and serve in whatever place that you can.
They're equipped to go take what they've learned and duplicate it, replicate it in another culture, back at their college team, wherever they go to coach. But we hope that by the time they spent the summer with us, they're empowered to go out and change the world and make life changers.
And so we just want to be intentional through a motivating platform that draws youth, it's a magnet to youth, to provide that platform to be able to share that message of hope with the youth of the world.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.
Camps with the Charlotte Eagles is the craziest, most insane thing that you'll ever love.
We teach them skills of the day.
We work on passing, shooting.
We try to have as professional of teaching as we can. We have fun days like Wacky Wednesday and Jersey Thursday. We have contests every morning and prizes, and we just have a blast.
It's so much bigger than the game of soccer.
Soccer camp, a place that you wouldn't really expect them to get Jesus, we can give it to them. It's just a way where we can love kids and we can teach them about the Lord and about how much He loves them.
They're all about the soccer, and then they love the Bible time.
The Elite Camp, we basically try and take our normal camps but step it up a notch. So Elite Camp, we try to pick up the quality, choose more challenging drills, and really try and push the kids athletically to see if they can improve and learn something new.
All girls camp is really fun. Guys aren't allowed. If any guys come close to the fence, they start screaming, "No boys allowed."
I've never seen more kids that have been more encouraging. Running up telling each other good job, giving high fives, it's really been a cool thing.
But at these camps, you know, the coaches really care about your kids.
But we take it very seriously, the instruction that hopefully they grow as a player in soccer. We come and we grow them as soccer players, as athletes, but also just as people. Things like honesty and sportsmanship.
How much can we invest in these kids' lives for the short period of time that we have?
There's tons of kids, tons of energy, and God works miracles through that week.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.
Well, sports ministry is like the gospel in action. You're able to speak the gospel, but you're also able to be an example on the field and doing something that you love.
Soccer is the #1 sport in the world. You can go anywhere, all you need is a ball. It's the perfect tool, in my mind, to share the gospel.
So many people in so many different cultures play sports, and soccer is probably the biggest because it's all around the world.
I think my favorite thing is actually playing matches against other teams and then afterwards getting to share with them.
Being able to show the love of God while you're playing, and more so afterwards when you're able to talk with people one-on-one or even to a crowd, explaining why you're doing what you're doing.
Have those intentions of, okay, I'm going to use this not for myself but to benefit others. God just takes that and just expands it and just blows it up bigger than you could ever imagine.
Training is a core part of what we do to accomplish our mission, a season of training to prepare players for a lifetime of service.
We try to do what we call sports ministry training, where we're training our men to take their faith and put it on the field. That's through transformation.
Going through the material, the sports ministry training material, of just kind of a theology of sports ministry and learning more deeper about how God wants us to be in the context of sport.
That's the standard advice that you're going to have.
We all enjoy the game. I love to coach, I love to play. All these guys are driven, they're competitive, but investing in these guys on the spiritual side, that's what I get excited about, and that I get to do it within the environment of soccer.
It's a phenomenal place to grow. From the staff around you, to the opportunities you get, to the leadership you can provide for the team, the perfect place to be as an athlete.
I love being a part of, I guess, just a Christian organization that is so fired up about God and using soccer as their ministry.
There are a lot of guys that are really serious about growing spiritually, and I've been mentored by several so far already.
I was challenged to not only improve myself on the field, I was able to grow in certain things off of the field as well. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without the organization altogether.
Being at camp with kids, I felt more alive than I've ever felt.
As we try to teach kids how to play soccer to get better, we also share Christ with them, which is our main purpose here.
This Camp of 200 is being led by two of our student leaders, and they're doing an excellent job giving them a practical experience in leadership.
Over in Japan, we do clinics for kids as well as playing different university teams. And even though there's a language barrier, playing soccer always helps break it down. And
I mean, especially when we go to Brazil, it's Portuguese as the language and then soccer. And immediately the kids just respond to us because we play soccer, we invest in their lives, and now they're open to hear about the gospel.
You go across the country and you pick up a ball, and within 10 minutes you have 50 to 100 kids surrounding you, and so just knowing that it can easily build relationships.
And how one sport, how one soccer ball and a smile can unite two teams who can't even communicate because we don't even understand each other. It's hard to describe, and being a part of it has been such a blessing.
I was really feeling that we were supposed to live alongside people, to move into neighborhoods, to move into cities that need Christ's light, and just let Christ's Spirit flow through us there.
Sports ministry, being a sports minister, brought us into the neighborhood. We were using soccer to build relationships with the kids through soccer practice and playing soccer out on the field.
My heart is to see this whole community transformed by God's love. And so it started with us rolling out a soccer ball 2 years ago and bringing a couple snacks. And so we'd play soccer for an hour, hour and a half.
We are to have deep relationships with the families here and serve in whatever place that you can.
But they're equipped to go take what they've learned and duplicate it, replicate it in another culture, back at their college team, wherever they go to coach. But we hope that by the time they spent the summer with us, they're empowered to go out and change the world and make life changers.
And so we just want to be intentional through a motivating platform that draws youth, it's a magnet to youth, to provide that platform to be able to share that message of hope with the youth of the world.
Do you know who will answer when you call your merchant service provider? Our customers do. Personalized service and no annual contracts motivate us to earn and keep your business. Visit Allegiance Merchant Services online today to experience the Allegiance difference at AllegianceMerchantServices.com. Allegiance, the official payment processor for the Charlotte Eagles.
And we're back for the second half of this so far exciting game between Orlando City and the Charlotte Eagles. Charlotte dominating, if you can say that. There wasn't. It was
definitely the better chances
early on in the first
early in the game.
30 minutes, but the last 15.
That was all Orlando. So.
A couple great saves from Alec Can to preserve the 0-0 tie headed into halftime, and Wells Thompson is back out for the second half after being patched up during halftime.
And you had Miguel Gallardo for Orlando City making a really nice save off a volley from Jorge Herrera and a bit of a point-blank shot from Zach Boggs. He was able to block out of there, but not a ton of chances for either side. See if things open up a little bit here in the second half. Orlando trying to clinch that #1 spot heading into the league playoffs.
Going up against number 2 in the league, Richmond Kickers, Saturday. And Bingwe managed to get to it, but poked it out for an Eagles throw-in.
Yeah, so you've got Orlando trying to secure top spot in the league, and you've got Charlotte trying to fight for one of the final playoff positions. So both teams with something to play for. Reason to go after the game here in the second half. I feel like Charlotte will really extend themselves, really press here to create opportunities, get all 3 points.
Thompson thinking momentarily about squaring that up, and it's a poke tackle from Seren. And now Molino battling with Greer, trying to feed through to Mbingwe, but good defending from Bilal Duckett. Molino losing it away to Noonan. Weathers goes back to Duckett. He sends it forward, trying to get it to Zach Boggs.
Charlotte's been okay when they haven't given the ball away in the midfield. Herrera nearly did it there, worked back hard to keep Molino off the ball. But when Charlotte's forced Orlando to play out of from the back all the way through, they've had a bit more success. And honestly, it's been this guy chasing the ball down here, Herzog, who's probably been a bit more dangerous than Molino so far. Good turn from Sekcheri.
And he tries to chip it over to Gideon Asante, who almost managed to pick up a mistake from Gallardo. Molino dancing around Leathers. Now Duckett for Charlotte. Noonan back to Duckett. Noonan again. Greer. Herrera. Thompson. Herrera. Chipping it over for Richard Dixon. That's going to be out for a goal kick.
Herrera apologizing for overhitting that ball. Appreciating the run from Dixon. Something that I think you'll see from Charlotte here in the second half. Thompson slipping inside, letting Dixon come around, trying to create 2v1s against Luke Bowden there, left back for Orlando City.
It's going to be a throw in for Charlotte. And Zach Boggs' header goes out for a goal kick. Quickly distributed over to Bowden. And Bingwe. A throw in for the Eagles. Dixon takes it back to Greer. Now Duckett. And cleared away by Rusin. Now Molino. Looking for Bowden. Good slide tackle from Richard Dixon. But Bowden picks up a knock on that slide tackle.
Yeah, appears to be in a fair amount of pain there. Reaching down, holding the ankle or foot. There you see Corey Herzog waving the trainer across. Didn't appear to be a lot of contact from Richard Dixon on the slide tackle. Didn't see anybody appealing for a foul call there. Maybe even more concerning if it's an injury that happened without contact. Luke Bowden, experienced defender, been a pretty staple part of the Orlando City back line for the past few years.
Seem to be looks might be a pulled hammy.
See what Orlando City does here to reorganize themselves. Charlotte played the last 5-7 minutes of the first half without Wells Thompson, as he had a cut to his face or head dealt with. And now you've got Bowden, who's up and jogging along the end line. Good to see that. Back up on his feet. Doesn't look entirely comfortable, but is up on his feet. It looks like Deleuze is slid into left back. Just play with two through the middle for Orlando City. The ball just overhit for Asante, who's now going to be offsides. So you had Orlando City's turn now to play a man down while they wait for Bowden to come back on. Here he is. So still a little ginger, but looks like no worse for the wear. Good to see that.
How long he'll be able to stay out there. Over to Valentino. Gallardo, Rusin, and Bowden. Good defending from J.J. Greer, heading that away. Going to be a throw-in for Orlando City. Wells Thompson asking for a foul on Mbingwe, but not protesting too much. Now Molino. Duckett coming out.
Yeah, it's a good release from Sikcheri there in transition. Great one-time ball.
Now Asante chipping it in. And that's going to be a corner kick. Asante showing his speed.
Yeah, and he was released into that space and allowed to get in behind by the excellent first-time half volley by Sikcheri.
Curled in. Noonan unable to get there. Now Asante takes a shot. And it ricochets off of an Orlando City player for another Charlotte Eagles throw-in.
Duckett nearly getting on the end of that last corner kick. I think did get a piece of it, but Rusin was able to do just enough to deflect it away.
Curled in. Noonan going to try to track this one down. Misplays it. Trying to go back to Wells Thompson, but instead curls out of bounds. Throw in. Now Rusin. That's going to be a foul on Ben Noonan.
Luke Bowden not real pleased with the tackle, the decision by Noonan to come in there. And I don't think there was no contact, but it was I think they're gonna call it a kick. Yeah. Called Noonan for sliding in there just a bit reckless. Never actually made contact with Bowden, but a little frustrated and slid in a bit heavy. Ref just keeping an eye on things, keeping it under control.
Boggs. That's going to be a throw in for Orlando City. Back to Rusin, over to Valentino. Turner. Chipping it forward, looking for Herzog. Bilal Duckett.
Herzog has not been able to get any love from the official. That's at least 3 times he's gone down pretty heavily and has yet to get the call from the center official.
And they're not dives. They're legit.
And that looked like it could have just been an inadvertent arm that came up from Duckett as he went in to win the ball. So I'm not saying necessarily it was a foul, but no, Herzog, he's a scrapper. He makes aggressive runs, really challenges the back line, looks to get in behind, and has run into Greer and Duckett more than once. Gone down hard a few times, and as a forward, you're hoping that will start to pay off when your team a free kick or something to create an opportunity from.
And Duckett trying to connect with Wells Thompson. Mbingwe skies that. And now Bowden with a notable decrease in his pace.
Just don't feel like that ball from Duckett, it's just gonna have to be perfect if it's gonna fit in between, get over Valentino and Rusin.
It's now Zach Boggs. Had dangerous opportunity, but allowed Rusin to get to the ball. And now Sikcheri Noonan goes over to Dixon, who's unable to control it. And it's out of play for a throw-in.
It was good play, though, by Charlotte. Good attempt to get out of the space on the left side of the field as they attacked and find a new space on the right. Couldn't quite get Dixon in though.
The most exciting flavors of Takis corn chips. Ricos is an exclusive distributor for the Carolinas.
So here you see it again. Win the ball on the right side, find the space on the left, and attack it.
Santi chipped it into Herrera, and he takes a shot just over the woodwork. It was tipped by Gallardo. So that's going to be a corner kick for the Eagles.
Excellent effort by Herrera. He picked that ball up in the middle of the field, and Thompson had released down the right flank. And when he didn't play it and cut it back, I thought maybe he'd missed the chance to be dangerous, but he knew what he wanted. Got the ball in a good spot at the top of the box, and short corner here between Herrera and Asante.
And Asante's cross is out off of Heath for a throw-in.
We saw Charlotte work a short corner on Saturday against Rochester and ended up with Herrera getting a blast from the top of the box that was very dangerous. So something that the Eagles work on, have a couple ideas that they want to pull off there on the short corners.
Yes, cleared away. Bowden coming up, finding Molino. Molino battling with Wells Thompson over there. Ends up off of Thompson for the throw-in. And then that's off of Heath for a Charlotte Eagles throw-in.
They just don't expect that at this level. A simple throw-in under no pressure, and just a little lack of concentration there from Heath. Gives it back to Charlotte.
Molino playing it to Herzog. Now Saran. Bowden. Bingweg. Miscommunication, and Duckett sends it forward.
That's a great ball.
And now Asante. Dangerous. And Boggs ended up on the ground. I think he just, Turf Monster got to him.
And there may have been something there, but to get a penalty kick out of that, it's going to need to be pretty blatant pull of the jersey or, arm extended to push him down. Anything that might be incidental, the ref is going to be pretty hesitant in that spot to give a penalty.
Trying to feed it in to Boggs. And Bingway. And that's off of Thompson for the Orlando City throw-in.
Yeah, Thompson and Dixon have been pretty physical, gotten right up tight on Mbengwe. I think the thought there is if you let him get into space, you let him turn and start running. He's got the pace, he's got skill, he can really be dangerous on the attack there. So really make it a physical battle for him, force him to try and play with his back to goal.
One away by Molino, but he was unable to link up with Herzog.
Charlotte's turned Orlando here from a 4-4-2 into a 4-5-1. Got Molino having to worked back to defend Leathers there on that last outlet.
Santi, now Herrera had a bad first touch. And then that was deflected. Newnham's shot deflected by Harrison Heath. Going to be a corner kick.
It would have been interesting to see where Newnham's ball would have gone had it not deflected. He got all of that one. Seemed to be headed on frame.
Corey Herzog is going to come off. And it's predictably going to be Dennis Chin coming on for Herzog. Chin is the second leading scorer for Orlando City. Herzog put in a tremendous effort tonight, just wasn't able to link up properly with his midfielders, just wasn't able to find the back of the net. He created havoc all night.
He did, had one good volley opportunity there where Greer fell down, was able to get in, and strong left-footed volley that forced a good save from Alec Can. But yeah, high work rate, good runs across the back line, forcing defenders to stay on their toes, be organized, stretch the defense, and hopefully make some space for Molino. So now it'll be Chin, whose job is to really stretch things up top, press against the back line, and then allow Bengue Deleuze to work underneath him along with Molino.
Looking for Herrera on the wing. He manages to get it in. And Herrera. That wasn't Herrera on the wing.
Yeah, Johnny Leathers from his left back position getting all the way up the end line.
Herrera's shot was saved by Gallardo. And now Seren. Molino. Seren.
That's been coming for Charlotte. They've been able to release the left back Leathers into some good positions. That's the best they've gotten out of it, but that's been coming. There's space out there as Asante tucks in, draws the defender, forces Turner, the 18-year-old, to make decisions. Does he come inside with Asante and leave the space? Or does he stay wide to pick up Leathers and allow Asante to be free in front of the back four? So what the Eagles are looking for, now can they turn that into more opportunities on goal and put one of these in the back of the net? That's a really good position that you're able to get Herrera into, and he's your top scorer. You'd expect him to put that away. Looked like he had found the frame, was on frame, just got blocked. Couldn't quite get it through.
Now looking for Boggs again. And that's off the light pole. Bet he couldn't do that again. Going to be a throw in for the Eagles.
Performance Unlimited is Charlotte's premier adult fitness and youth soccer training center, as well as the Eagles' trusted home.
Going to have another substitution for Orlando City. This time it's going to be Harrison Heath coming off.
Looks like Tommy Redding going to be making an appearance here in the midfield for Orlando.
Bowden gathering that.
Decent composure from the left back at the top of his own 6-yard box. Brings that ball down and plays confidently out of the back.
Throw in taken back to Can. Now Duckett. Duckett threading it through to Herrera. Asante. Losing possession. And now Deleuze. looking for Molino. That's going to be a throw-in for Orlando City. Like Tyler Turner took a knock on that play.
We'll see exactly how Orlando does it, but it looks like Tommy Redding is going to sit in front of the back line, play that holding midfield position, and Seren will slide a little further up and right, play next to Deleuze in the midfield, a little further forward.
A deflection forcing Bilal Duckett to clear that out of play, giving Orlando a throw-in. Poked out by Dixon. And now Bowden, Deleuze, Rusin, Montino, Redding, unable to keep it, and Leathers looking for Herrera. That's going to be a foul on Tommy Redding.
Yeah, so it's just kind of a one holding midfielder. So almost like a 4-1-4-1 for Orlando, as Redding's going to play kind of in between the backs in the midfield, where he'll be responsible for Herrera most of the time.
Greer goes back to Sacheri, who goes over to Duckett.
Duckett's played some great long balls tonight. Was looking to find Dixon over the top there.
Thompson into Sacheri, now Greer over to Duckett.
Another good ball.
Looking for and finds Leathers. Santi over to Dixon, and now Noonan. His shot. No trouble for Miguel Gallardo.
If he was going to take the shot, he needed to try and pull it off a little bit quicker, let that ball bounce, and by the time he waited for it to fall again, was always going to get blocked, get nicked away.
And that's cleared out by Rusin. Sacheri collects it. He goes in looking for Boggs. It's poked out by Bowden. And now
that is a brilliant ball
for Dennis Chin. Trying to slip past Duckett. And his shot into the side netting. Goal kick.
And Bengwe there, in transition, picked up that short clearance and drove a left-footed ball 60 yards straight into the path of Chin. Put him over the shoulder of Duckett and into the space. Brilliant ball there.
Can booms this one into the midfield. Sacheri connects with Herrera. Over to Thompson. Looking for Boggs. Finds him. Boggs into Thompson. He squares up and it's in!
Finishes.
Wells Thompson off the post, ricocheted in. Miguel Gallardo not happy with himself. That was just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, great play from Dixon. They swung the ball around wide. Dixon laid it into the path of Thompson, and there was no immediate pressure from the Orlando defense. Thompson able to pick his head up, get a touch inside the box. You can't allow players to get a free look from inside the 18-yard box like that. A bit unfortunate. I think that ball went through might have been Rusin's legs. It might have been what Gallardo was a little bit upset about, that there was an opportunity to block it, and it just snuck between the legs of the defender and then perfectly placed off the inside of the far post.
Now it'll be, can Charlotte hang on to this lead for the next 18 minutes, depending on what stoppage time we might have.
Was immediately start wondering what the Eagles coaches will want to do tactically, changes they might make. Do they stay aggressive? Do they make some subs? And immediately saw Coach Steve Shack walking down the sideline, giving a couple instructions for guys that are warming up. As Thompson goes again, feeling confident.
Got a shot on goal, but it was no trouble for Gallardo.
I think he was hoping to turn the corner a little more and bring that ball back on the floor for Herrera or Boggs.
Bowden coming up, limping again. Molino. Molino battling with Leathers. Leathers going to be called for a foul. Be a free kick for Orlando City.
16 minutes of regulation left to go, and I think you'd have to say Charlotte deserved that goal for the good spell of play they had in the first half. Didn't finish especially strong, but have been on the front foot for most of the second half here, at least the last 15 minutes. Have really been pressing, getting Dixon and Leathers into space around from the outside back position, creating those 2v1s, which is where Thompson was able to get himself free at the edge of the box, and just a matter of time till one of those balls found the corner of the net.
And now Coach Adrian Heath substituting former Eagle Giuseppe Gentile on for Brad Rusin. So bringing a forward on for a defender. That's going to be a goal kick. We'll see if Deleuze slides back into that outside back position. Bowden slides in, or if they'll just play with a three-man back line.
Looks at, for the moment, that Tommy Redding has gone from that holding midfielder position back to the center back alongside Valentino. So you've got Seren and Deleuze as the two center midfielders. Gentile and Chin up top. Here goes.
Orlando demanding a penalty.
Great run on the ball by Chin. It was Greer that was in on the tackle there. Had to commit to the tackle because Chin was splitting the two defenders, but certainly don't want your center back to be in a position of having to go to ground to make a tackle inside his own box. Pretty fortunate there.
Duckett heading it back to Can.
So you can already see having Gentile up top, he was able to flick that first ball on that Chin ran onto. So having two forwards up connected to each other, see if they can create something off of each other, and then allowing Bingwe to run on as well.
And that's going to be a corner for Orlando City. Redding in the box. Cleared away by Herrera and Boggs. Gallardo coming up, finds Bowden. That's reminiscent of a goal that Charlotte got against Orlando here last year, with Gallardo coming up to defend that, had a bad pass, and Nate Thornton
in the 90th minute
collected it and equalized.
This time around, Charlotte hoping there is no 90th minute equalizer, or at least the way things stand now.
Deleuze sending Mbingwe forward. Mbingwe manages to get to it, but it's cleared away by Dixon.
Richard Dixon's had an excellent game tonight. And Bingway can be a handful there on the left flank, and Dixon's been able to match him for pace, been able to turn him around and get forward and forcing Bingway to play a little more defense than maybe he's used to.
Looking for Molino, and that's going to be a foul called on Johnny Leathers.
Now in their last match, Orlando City gave up the first goal as well against Harrisburg, came back to win 3-1. They gave themselves a little more time than they have tonight to get those goals back, but even though they're top of the league, they've been here before. Even just last weekend, coming back from a goal down, getting 3 to win. So still a long ways to go these last 11, 12 minutes for Charlotte.
Dixon and Bingway battling. That's going to be a throw-in for the Eagles. But we're going to have a substitution for the Eagles. It's going to be Johnny Leathers coming off. I believe that's going to be Tolani Ibakunle. It is Tolani Ibakunle coming on. So now 3 former Wake Forest Demon Deacons on the field.
For the Eagles, and Austin DeLuz, a former Demon Deacon, on the field for Orlando City, joining Thompson, Newnham, and Ibakunle now.
Well, I was thinking of the 3 teammates. DeLuz, Ibakunle,
all at the same time. Okay, yeah.
Guys played together up in Winston-Salem.
And then
Sacheri.
And then Thompson being the old man in the bunch.
I wouldn't say that around him.
Doesn't play like it. Still hustles, still gets her all over the field.
Newnham over to Asante. Asante, Sacheri, back to Asante. Over to Ibakunle on the wing. He curls it in. Boggs unable to get onto it. Valentino heading it.
Boggs was free there. That was almost a great ball from Ibakunle. Now Chin.
Dangerous as Greer's in the box. And Dixon comes back. Solid defending again from Richard Dixon. And they cross it up, trying to find Asante. That's one away by Turner. Now Molino. Sarin, DeLuz, Molino again. Over to Turner. That's off of Ibakunle. A good seal out from Ibakunle to win the goal kick.
Yeah, good defending there. That's tough to step straight into a game that's in full flow and have to defend like that. So good work by him to have the mental toughness, be able to step right in, jump into the game, and defend.
Can. Looking for Asante. Molino for Orlando City. DeLuz. Duggett steps up and intercepts that now. Ibakunle, Asante. Asante slips past. And was threading that one through for Zach Boggs, but a nice sliding interception from Tommy Reddick.
And the other 2 Orlando defenders are appealing for offsides, which it would have been had the ball gone through. It's almost as if Redding hurt himself by playing it, not letting it through to Boggs.
And now Bowden. And another great defensive play as there's a sliding play there from Dixon. And it's going to be another substitution for Charlotte. And we're going to have Guy Brandel coming on for Gideon Asante.
Brandel, the Brazilian left-footed player.
Got great pace like Asante does. Coming on with fresh legs. Asante put in another solid outing in his second game with the team.
Yeah, nothing special, but
Was dangerous at times.
Got down the flank, got into a few tough positions, a few dangerous positions, made it tough on Turner to attack from that outside back position.
As Ibakunle clears that away. Redding encouraging his teammates to go, to hurry. Back to DeLuz. He tries chipping it in for Dennis Chin, but Chin called offside.
Fortunate there because Chin laid a good ball back to Molino, who was running on about 15 yards out. Good organization tonight from the Charlotte back line. Stayed pretty compact. Haven't allowed these dangerous Orlando City forwards to get behind them. Not often that Orlando's looking for their first goal of the game in the 85th minute.
And Molino over to Chin. Gentile in the box. And now DeLuz. Back to Valentino.
Opportunity to break here.
Brandel chipping it forward for Boggs.
Nearly a great ball. Got it over the first center back, but excellent cover from Valentino. Get to that ball before Boggs.
And now Bowden. There's the Chin. Now Molino. It goes back to Alec Can. Can. The little gamesmanship.
By a few seconds there. Well up by Brandel, but it's just going to knock it through to Gallardo.
Valentino now over to Redding. And Turner. Gentile. It's a free kick for the Eagles.
I think perhaps it called a handball as Gentile went up to bring that down. Went off his right bicep.
And we're going to have Jorge Herrera being substituted off for Drew Yates. And looks like Tyrone Hall is going to come on also. But we're going to hold it off on that substitution.
Another solid performance from... Wow.
Steve Shack was off the bench like a rocket. Not happy with that. It's going to be another free kick for Charlotte.
Don't believe we've had a caution tonight. Ref's been able to keep the cards in the pocket this evening. Hasn't been too. We saw Hertog go down hard a couple times and then a tough challenge there, but for the most part, guys playing hard, but pretty fair. No ill will seem to be out there.
It is going to be Tyrone Hall coming on for Zach Boggs. That free kick is played quickly to Brandau. And that's off of Turner for an Eagles throw in. Brandau, a little with his shot, forcing a diving save from Miguel Gallardo.
And he hit that with his right foot, too. Brendel, a left-footed player, curling inside and letting it fly with his weak foot. Nothing weak about the shot, though. Put some pace on that, forced Gallardo to make a really nice save.
It looks like the Eagles are going to park the bus as J.J. Greer and Bilal Duckett are not going to come forward.
Yates and Sekcheri there in the corner. Yates with the captain's armband coming on for Jorge Herrera.
Sekcheri, his cross connected with Brendel, but he wasn't able to hang on to it. And now Yates battling, and that's going to be off of Sarin for a Charlotte Eagles throw-in.
Some good spell here for Charlotte, even if they got the good look from Brendel, but taking time off the clock as good as anything else. Nothing wrong with the ball being down in that far corner of the field if you're the Eagles. Orlando needs to find a way to get it out of there and get some numbers forward as we approach the last 30 seconds of normal time.
Going over to Bowden. And he was trying to feed it forward, but it ricochets off of Thompson. Tyrone Hall trying to track this down. But Valentino, composed as ever, finds Redding. Now Deleuze trying to feed it forward. J.J. Greer winning that header. Now Ben Noonan.
4 minutes of stoppage time. 4 minutes.
Going to have 4 minutes of stoppage time.
You had the one injury for the Luke Bowden. Yeah, Bowden went down there. You had the goal and some subs. So sure, not the number Mark Steffens was hoping for, but guess it about right.
Did a Kuhn layup. Takes the throw in. Now Hall losing it away. But Noonan steps up and wins it again. But Hall again gives it away. It's going to be a throw in for the Eagles.
Even when Charlotte's had a giveaway like that one and set Orlando into transition, they just haven't been able to connect, haven't been on the same page and found a way to connect with the forwards, put Chin or Molino or Gentile into good positions.
Bowden, as Wells Thompson went in with a head. And Thompson bags the brace, and there's the insurance goal. Wells Thompson, with his parents and family in attendance, gets a brace and celebrates by high-fiving the ball girl. That is a class act right there. Couldn't have happened to a better man. He's had tough luck throughout his career with injuries and has had a lot of opportunities this year. Capitalized on some, but not on most. And he has almost single-handedly taken this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and when he won that ball off of Bowden, you could see Bowden coming over here onto the sideline. I think he's done for the evening. Thompson just ran away from him. Bowden pulled up lame, and then at that point it was just 1v1 Thompson and Valentino. Valentino forced Thompson to go wide, but it didn't matter because he just absolutely stuck that ball in the top corner, roofed it with pace. Valentino turned around and was upset with Gallardo, but Gallardo said, that ball's by me before I can even see it, right in the top corner of the net. When you get in like that, you know, they teach you your two best options to score: low to the far post or high to the near post. And Thompson went for power up over the shoulder of Gallardo and never gave him a chance.
And Botello Jean-Jacques is coming on for Luke Bowden. Bowden put in 90 minutes, but just unable to continue after picking up that knock and aggravating it in that tussle with Thompson.
Yeah, I just hope that it's not something that's going to keep him from being able to go on Saturday in a big game at Richmond. Good player. Hope that it's something he can ice up and be ready to go again on Saturday.
And now Jean-Jacques, that ricocheted off of Dixon. And Greer came sliding in to block any potential shot Gentile had. And Alec Can corralled it as we're nearing the end of our 4 minutes of stoppage time. Can sends this one forward.
Huge 3 points for Charlotte as they pursue that final playoff spot.
Gentile.
What a play by Greer.
Opportunity there. And that's going to do it. Charlotte Eagles take down league leaders Orlando City 2-0. And the Powerade player of the game is none other than number 9, Wells Thompson.
No brainer there. Big 3 points for Charlotte. And for the time being, moves them up right into the playoff positions. And if you're Charlotte at this point, you're looking at, if you get in, more than likely getting to the 8th seed, which puts you back against Orlando. So not only a big 3 points, but some momentum and some confidence that if you ended up somehow in a matchup with Orlando, you know you can do it. You've played with them and beaten them 2-0. So yeah, good game for Charlotte. See what Orlando can do, regroup, and see what they can give Richmond up in Richmond in the 1-2 matchup this weekend.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Charlotte Eagles' next home game is next Friday. And
Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Thank you. I was drawing a blank against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching.